All right, we are finally going to record season 2, episode 8, and I'm waiting for Jason and Bianca to show up, or as I know them, Bianca and Mr. Patient. Jason has the audacity to be 6 minutes late and then yell at us for not being on time.
Holy smokes!
There he is, right there.
Look at that mountain man.
There it is.
Look at that beard. I'm having my mouse on your beard right there.
Almost vacation time, bro.
Boom.
Boom.
You're going back to the Midwest?
Yeah.
Home sweet home.
Home sweet home. I fly back to Wisconsin tomorrow afternoon.
Nice.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Man, it's been crazy. But all of our the calendars, man.
Oh, it's so stupid.
It is stupid, but it's crazy.
Yep.
How does Tuesdays? Tuesday afternoons might work better.
This time on Tuesdays work fine for me.
Okay.
The afternoons. Okay. Yeah, it might be better for B because she's awake. We'll have to see.
We'll see.
I mean, I don't know if we want her awake, but if she is, then maybe it'll be better.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Are you talking about me? That was the fastest.
Yeah, it's crazy.
At least one of Bianca's.
What?
Because I follow you guys on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
I can never guess Greg's. Well,
you'll get mine this time.
No, probably not.
I haven't done 3 cool things, so I don't have 3.
Okay. You look pretty.
Gosh.
Thanks. You got makeup. No,
oh, you meant Bianca. Yeah, that makes sense.
Bianca.
Me? No way. I just
you have like eye makeup on or something.
No,
I always do. I always do.
I don't know. Yeah.
I
just take
don't feel great. I was just running around for hours and hours.
It's the glow of sweat.
My beard. Yeah, the trim a beard and then getting a haircut with Zeke. Or after
That's what I'm doing. I'll do that tomorrow.
But right now, I'm doing right now after this.
Where I am, the barbershops are about to, get really busy because it's almost 5. So
yeah.
Hey, for the record, how do you have the audacity to be late and then yell at us for not being here?
Yeah, we were actually hanging out.
You were already here.
And you were like texting saying it's 2:36, and we were in a room. We were hanging out.
You were already hanging out?
Yeah, this is the second go around.
Second go for us. Because I screwed up the sound on the front end, so we had to redo it. But
so explain yourself, please.
That was my first invite via Google.
No, there was one earlier. 2:29.
2:29, which is before 2:30.
Yeah, and then you're like,
Jason Griffiths?
Last time I heard from you was 7 minutes later.
I might have been. I don't know. I didn't get the email.
Probably brushing out your beard, man. That's probably.
I was actually. What is it? Blogging.
What is it? Blogging.
Yeah, I was blogging.
That was not the word I thought you were looking for by any means. I could have taken 100 guesses and not come up with blogging.
What was it? Blogging.
Blogging. I was blogging.
What's that verb that I never used?
What is that?
I wrote my second blog.
Wow, how about that, man?
Yeah.
You gonna spread that around so we can read it?
No, I'm hiding it.
Okay.
See if you can find it.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
That's what blogs are good for.
Yeah.
Hiding ideas.
Just hiding ideas. All right. Who's start?
I have no idea. I'm here for the ride today. I have no idea.
Oh, I have no brain capacity to be thinking about things. Let's just come up with it right now.
Okay.
Are you doing receipts while we record our podcast, B?
Yep, it's end of fiscal year, guys. I have to get these in by 5:00 today.
Are you serious?
But I'm gonna do it after. I'm just gathering them now. I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm just gathering them. How could you tell?
I don't know. I got skills.
Yeah.
I want to do it now. Who chose? I guess I could see who chose last time. Oh yeah, because Greg thought we gave him bad choices, so it was Greg.
Yeah.
And then the week before, I think it was Jason. I think it might be my turn, but I can't tell.
To choose? That sounds right.
Yeah, I can't.
Does that mean I start?
I think you go first. I think I do the intro. Jason goes first.
I don't think I've done the intro in a long time, and I think that's a good thing.
The last time you did the intro, it was a disaster. So.
Who? Me?
No, Jason. There was like no energy. Like, ladies and gentlemen, on the land and the sea, on boats or horseback.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Blah 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 blah. He was pretty tired the last time we did it.
Yeah.
We got going after we got talking, but the intro was not strong.
Prove us wrong, Jay.
That's right. This is the
Okay,
time.
and then I'll go third so that I choose.
That is correct.
Okay. And honestly, this gratitude stuff has just turned into like fun things I've been doing. I hope that's okay. I need to think of more of like I'm actually grateful. I'm not like
What we could do,
like concepts, kind of, you know?
Yeah, what we could do, one of the things that makes it hard is having 3. Like when we were having 5, like a couple of them each time you were sort of forced to be reflective on because you just didn't have 5 things you were really excited about.
Yeah, I just feel like I haven't been reflecting.
With 3, you sort of can just pick 3 things you liked pretty fast.
Yeah.
So that's one possibility.
Go back to 5?
We go back to 5 and cut out the ranking at the end if we wanted to.
Man, 3 is tough.
Yeah, you already have a hard time with 3. I don't know if adding the 5.
I really have been trying though. I've been trying to have at least one of my 3 be more like I'm thankful for, you know, this general concept. But I've been doing too many fun things. It's hard not to.
That's the thing. That's fine.
I feel like it's a braggadocious podcast. Like I'm just bragging about.
Well, for you, this is the Bianca's got a much cooler life than the rest of us podcast.
I think we should also change the name.
Yeah. So Jason and I just sit here and are, you know, it could be old married guys are boring with Bianca.
In case you were wondering and you had no idea. Also, the picture changed on Apple, but it didn't change on my Android. Do you have to do that separate? It's still the same old picture.
I may have to do that separately. I'm sorry. I didn't think I did.
Please do not apologize. I'm just alerting you.
No, that's helpful. I did not know that was a thing. I thought it just automatically pulled it from the feed. So
I thought so too. Yeah. Let me just check
on last 2019 goals.
I've also got to go. If we can get that one knocked out by the next Olympics, I think we'll be in really good shape.
That's a good goal. That's a good goal. Good goal.
Aiming high.
No, and I think Google has a new podcast app that I wanted to try to get us on. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's Google. That's what I have. Google Pixel.
It used to be on Google Play, or it is on Google Play, but then when Google added the new thing, I have not updated that at all. So I've got to go in and play with it.
Oh, I thought it was Google Play. Okay, you're right.
It's just brand new. I don't know anything else about it besides that we're not on it.
Okay.
I'll look at it and see. All right, good stuff. You guys ready to get started?
Okay, bye. See ya.
Are we doing 3 or 5?
3.
Okay.
We're doing 3 this time because this is what we prepare for, and I don't want to. Okay. I don't want to throw a curveball.
I get you 20 right now. We haven't talked to each other in like 8 years.
I know, this is ridiculous, and it's going to be another little while after today too, because
I have 3 more children. I have 3 more children.
What? No way.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
That seems unlikely.
I really did need an explanation for a second.
Wait, what? You grew up in the church? In the church?
In a church? I didn't literally grow up in a church. I guess I literally did. Okay.
Oh, man. All right, everyone. Welcome to This Week in Gratitude. I'm Greg Richards. I'm joined by Bianca Quezada and Jason Griffiths. They are both on the West Coast, in Seattle and in California somewhere, respectively. We are glad to be talking to each other. It's been a little while since we chatted, and it'll be a little while after this before we chat again. So we wanted to kind of touch base in the middle of summer here and share a few things that are going on that we're excited about and kind of rank them. This is what we do as often as we can do it. We try to talk to each other and share what we're grateful for, whether it's just cool events that we've had happen in our lives or whether it's things that we're really reflecting on and are excited about what God's doing. So we hope you enjoy it. We hope you find something that you can take from it that maybe you can try out or you can enjoy, or maybe you can just be grateful with us as we're grateful. Whatever it is, subscribe, tell your friends, pass this around, let people know about it, and we'll go from there. So, Jason, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'll kick it straight into it because we're not swimming in time, but I'm fired up. Bam! Out of the gate. My first one out of the gate is just last weekend, a couple days ago. We went down to San Diego, and I love that city. So it's the whole city of San Diego, but especially there was one part of it where we went to Seaport Village. This is the first time I took my family to Seaport Village. I used to go there all the time when my mom was living and when my grandparents were living, and they would just always that was their thing. Like back when we were living in Massachusetts, when we flew to California as kids, we would just go to Seaport Village. That was kind of that was their go-to, like, hey, let's go to Seaport Village. It's this cool little artsy nook right on the bay of San Diego. And it was just fun. It was just Elsie Linda Sue, my daughter, she has the two middle names Linda Sue because my mom's name was Linda Sue. It was just, I don't know. It was a little bit of a tearjerker, but like joyful tears. Yeah, shocking. And then I had never spent that much time in Old Town, and it's similar to the San Antonio in that they make their own tortillas everywhere, and so it was really, really good. And they all had the mole, and it was good. So we ate there a bunch, and now there's a really good public transit now. So we just rode this train everywhere.
San Diego.
We won't go into that quote.
No, that's hilarious. That's awesome, man. How far is San Diego from where you live, Jason?
It's a couple hours, just a couple hours south. And actually, Bianca came there. She was there like the second weekend I was back. Then we were just exhausted.
Not me.
Plus, yeah. Remember, you were there. You went through Tijuana, not at Seaport Village, but you were at Mission Bay or wherever. Where were you? You're at
island. In April.
Yeah, I'm coming back now.
I just feel like you haven't been there that long, but you have been there since March or April. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Coronado Island. Remember, you were on Coronado or something.
Yeah.
Like that. That's right across that bridge from Seaport Village. You can see Coronado.
Yeah, I have. So Old Town also has like a bunch of touristy trinkets and stuff, and I bought those colorful plastic Mexican flags one time when I was there, like a few years ago. Like I think I was visiting you guys, and then I went down to San Diego, and I still have them up in my room, so I see them every day. I always get a little reminder of Old Town cool. San Diego, and Mexico. But anyway, I like that.
Does your family have a spot like when you think of vacation, or you think of like a go-to spot that your family would visit?
It's changed. When I was growing up, we would go to the Oregon coast a lot because I was in Oregon, just outside of Portland. So when I think of the Oregon coast, I think of, like we're all at the beach house, we get a house and we spend time on the beach and everything. But now that since we moved away, it's kind of, we change it. I mean, definitely Texas. So we go to Texas a ton, but almost every time we go, we're in a different spot at Texas. So there's not even one spot, but the whole state of Texas is our go-to.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's kind of big.
But we don't have a place that we, one of the biggest. But we don't have a place we are constantly heading back to now.
My dad was in the military growing up. So we had the place for us was kind of like what you were saying with Texas was Wisconsin. So as long as we were in Wisconsin somewhere, then it was technically home somehow, right? Or where my grandma lived, or where my aunts lived, or whatever it was. And so, I resonate with that, Jason. There's something important about that, right? I don't know what that is exactly, but we need that somehow.
I think that's true. I like that. I just thought of a question because there was a store down there, and I think if I could live in a store, I would live in the store, and it's root beer and jerky. It's in that.
I don't think you would live long in that store.
I just die of obesity, but it was so awesome.
You'd feel great about it.
Does anybody have any stores like that?
Oh
jerky?
gosh,
that's just a weird pairing. Jerky.
It's a very weird pairing.
But somehow delicious. I'm with you. It sounds.
It was amazing. The smell.
I wouldn't want to live there. I don't know where I would want to live, but I know where I would not want to live, and that's that place.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to be grateful, but ungrateful.
All right, who's next?
That's cool. I'm up next, I think. So my first one is I love the World Cup, and the World Cup is happening right now, and it's amazing. And I love that it's on all day, every day. That I wake up in the morning and I can turn it on and watch it. And then they're just now starting to get to the elimination rounds, and that's a blast. And it makes me sad on some level that the U.S. is not in it, but I am still super glad that it's happening, and I enjoy it immensely. So, and we talked about this before. Like, I love like national team sports, and when nations compete against each other in sports. So, yeah, the World Cup for me, it's happening right now. It's like the coolest thing. It happens every 4 years. So, I'm excited about it. And
what do you like about it so much? We have talked about it.
Well, we talked about like the Olympics. I love it's the one time I feel like patriotism isn't awful. Or there's a way of being patriotic that's really dangerous for our Christian lives, and there's ways of being patriotic that are just like, this is where we're from. And in sports, to me, it feels like an appropriate place for that kind of patriotism, and like rooting for your guys and rooting for your ladies and like being excited. So I don't know. For me, it's like the one spot where when I feel really patriotic, I don't feel bad about feeling patriotic. Huh. I don't know. But the U.S. isn't even in it. I just love soccer. Like, I like soccer anyway. And so it's everybody that, if you watch a lot of soccer outside of the World Cup, you're watching guys play on different teams. And then when they play for the World Cup, they play for their nations. So there's like the only thing that binds them together is where they were born. And that's kind of a cool, like, to watch them play with different players and in different places. It's pretty fun. And it's just for a summer, and then they go back to playing for your teams again. So you end up rooting for guys you don't normally root for and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I really like it.
Is the timing a little off? Like, are you like getting up at 2 a.m. to make sure you watch the certain games? Or
no,
whatever?
It's worse for you guys.
Oh, okay.
Because you're 2 hours behind me, and our first game every day is like 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, something like that. So it's maybe it's 7 o'clock. Either way, like the point of the story, that would be brutal for you guys, but I get to watch almost every game. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know some people over here trying to watch it, but it seems like a lot of effort. Just tell me who wins later.
Yeah, I mean that's how every baseball game feels like to me. So.
Just tell me who wins at the end of the season.
Yeah, tell me if there's anything I should watch. So, So anyway, that's going on right now, and I don't know, 4 billion people in the world watch it or something. It's something crazy.
Yeah,
that's so confusing to me. I lump it in the same realm as Indy 500 and all that. And the horse racing stuff too. Like I just don't get why people watch any of that stuff. I don't know. I went to 2 soccer games, like professional. Yeah. It's LA Soccer, LA Galaxy, and both games. One ended in a tie 0-0, and it was raining, and the second one it ended in a tie 1-1.
Yeah.
And I honestly I wanted to beat someone up to get those hours back. Like, it's just frustrating, like crazy. Like, and people were cheering because there was this one guy on LA Galaxy that's really good. You know, he played for US or whatever. And everybody's like, "Woo!" But then he sucked. Like, I don't know. He didn't do nothing. Like, like Jordan would take over a game. You watch LeBron. The guy freaking. It's like watching. I don't know.
Listen, there's nobody who plays for the Galaxy who's on the level of Jordan or LeBron.
Yeah, I know. So they had Beckham for a while, wasn't he really good?
Yeah, but old.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Old.
It's like having old Jordan play for your team. It doesn't mean it. Yeah. Jordan.
The guy that they were cheering for is, I think it was Scott or Steve.
Tell us more.
He had short brown hair and high socks.
What a fan!
They all wear high socks.
We've got a fan in the house.
I'm not going to try to convince you of soccer. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I love it.
We'll pray for Griffiths.
I've learned over time. I think soccer might be my favorite sport to watch right now. So.
And your kids play, right?
And my kids play, so I understand soccer a little better. I like to read books about soccer. It's fascinating to me. The whole culture is just interesting. Sorry, guys.
Wow.
I can't believe I lost you guys on the World Cup. What in the world? This is shocking to me.
What in the World Cup?
No, what in the World Cup is going on around here?
I watched part of the game. I've watched part of the game so far.
All right, well, then you're winning.
Right.
Yeah. Listen, you guys don't all have to love mine. That's fine.
It seems like the Brazilians, they fall down a lot.
That does happen. That does happen.
Fake like they're injured.
That does happen.
And I find myself rooting for just the countries that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Just because like they're underdog. I'm like,
yeah, why not?
I propensity towards underdogs. So
that's kind of fun. And like if you like dramatic elements of sports, then to me this is kind of like it's like March Madness, but it's every 4 years and it's nations instead of colleges. So I don't know. It's
very accurate. Slower. Very accurate.
Way slower.
Yeah, but it's like March Madness and that like what okay, first off, it's not slower by any means.
Way slower.
No, it's not. Like there's a soccer game lasts.
You get the game.
A soccer game lasts like an hour and 45 minutes.
I know, but they're running like 15 miles.
Have you ever watched a Wisconsin basketball game? Like all they do is just make you chuck terrible shots all game. It's awful.
Okay, I feel like we should move on.
I think so too. I'm not going to convince Jason. I'm fine with that.
Dig it down. Go.
There are other things I love about Jason besides his.
I know. Gosh. Okay, here we go. I have been up to a lot. I have been going to a lot of concerts and comedy shows, but I'm trying to be more reflective of what I actually like about them, other than just telling you guys that I went. So I'll tell you, I went to a comedy show a few weeks ago with some friends, and her name is Emily Heller, and I don't know if you've heard of her, but she's also a comedy writer. She writes for the show Barry on HBO, if you've seen that. And I've known of her for a while, and so she was doing a recording here in Seattle. So I got 3 of my friends to go, and it was hilarious, and I definitely recommend it. Whenever it comes out, definitely see Emily Heller live at the Showbox in Seattle. But what I was reminded of is one of my friends that I went with. I don't normally. Well, sometimes I go to comedy shows with her, but she's not always the first person I think of. But I invited her to this one, and she's just having like a really rough time right now. And she kept repeating like, "Oh, it's so nice to laugh. Like it's so nice to be out." And for me, like I go to comedy shows because I know I'm going to enjoy it, and I do laugh a lot. And I think you might be able to hear my laugh on the show, which will be cool. But some people like. It really is like a big difference in their life to just sit and have someone like entertain them in this way. And so I'm just appreciative of what comedians can do. I think it's different for each person receiving it. And I just, I always just go in my own perspective, like, oh, I signed up and I got a ticket because I like comedy and I want to support them. But for some people, it is like a lifeline. Like, this week would have just been all terrible for her if there's like one shining moment where Emily was up front and making her laugh, like made sure that the whole week wasn't really terrible. So anyway, I'm just really appreciative. I'm grateful for a comedian. It's not easy, obviously. I know people think it might be easy to do stand up, but it's definitely not. And I just appreciate people who put in the work and just like brighten up people's days, brighten up people's hour. We're only there for a couple hours, and even brighten up someone's week. So I'm just grateful for that, and it stems from the show I went to for Emily Heller.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I get to one of my weeks. I don't know when it was. Maybe in the last couple. There was Tommy Papa has Tom Papa has a new book out, and he does this. He does this bit about how kids don't eat, and it turned around my day. I love that power of comedians. It was kind of just the day going kind of in the wrong direction, and I just happened to watch it, and it was just the power of making somebody laugh. I echo you. That's a great gratitude thing. It's good.
Yeah, I like it. On your shelves soon or whatever, coming to Netflix. I don't know where it's going to be aired, but
Emily Heller.
Yeah, Emily Heller. She writes for Barry on HBO. She's been on some kind of like comedy shows that, like TBS comedy shows that came and went, whatever. But I've actually followed her career because I saw her at Bumbershoot once, this festival we have here a few years ago, and then ever since then, if I see her name in something, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna go to that. And so obviously I had to go to her taping here in Seattle. She could have chose any city. She chose Seattle though.
Seattle gets chosen a lot for that.
I know they do, or we do.
It's a cool city.
It is a cool city.
Yeah, you can't blame anybody. Since you're on the comedy train, I'll switch up my order.
But,
The Opposition with Jordan, whatever Klepper, I think his name is. Yeah, it's gonna cancel. There's only like 2 or 3 episodes left, but I love that show. The reason I started watching it, I saw him on one of those late night shows just talking about it, and he and his wife are both comedians and writers for like comedy writers or whatever, and they both applied to be on the Daily Show with Jon Stewart. And
hey, are you getting invaded by aliens?
No, can you see that too?
Is there a lightning? It looks like a lightning storm.
I'm afraid to unplug it, but I think that's what I need to do. I'm not going to unplug it. Can you live with it?
Yeah, I might have a seizure or something.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you don't ever talk. It probably won't be great for the podcast, but...
now it went blank. Uh-oh. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So Jordan and his wife applied to be like on the Daily Show, and Jordan got it, and his wife didn't. And so he and his wife actually got the call. And so he said it was...
All right, there might be something going on at Bianca's. We're not sure what's happening.
Yeah.
The lights were flashing. They went out. Now we hear ambulances or police cars or fire trucks at the National Guard.
Bianca, and pray that she's safe. Amen. Anyway, they both applied. He got it. She didn't. And he says it was the best day of his life and simultaneously the worst day of his life. And then he got that show, The Opposition, and his first hire was his wife.
Nice.
So anyway, it was just, and that's why I started watching it. And then he does a good job. He's just funny. I like him.
Yeah, I like him on Daily Show.
Yeah, I liked him on the Daily Show, and I like this The Opposition. And plus, I like that just the fight continues. That's how the fight starts now, because it's The Opposition or whatever. I just like that slogan. Come back for more fight or something. Yeah. It's I like it. He doesn't have the best guests, but his monologues. No, they're canceling it. So there's only like 3 or 4 left.
I think he has something new coming. No, I only saw a headline, but I saw something about he'll be off the air, but he's got something else lined up.
Awesome.
So keep a lookout for it.
There you go.
I'm a fan.
While we're talking about awesome shows, Detroiters is back for season 2.
Oh, heck yes.
Oh, man.
Oh,
that thing is cracking me up, dude.
Did you watch them?
Yes.
Yes. I was wondering if there was going to be Anyone's Top 3. I wasn't going to mention it, but oh my gosh, I love that show.
Oh, man. It's so good to have that back in my life.
It is.
So good.
So happy about that. Oh, man. All right, my second one. That was your second one, Jason?
See.
All right, my second one is... my oldest son, Josh, is in Germany right now playing soccer. Actually, he's probably sleeping right now, hopefully. But he's there for 2 weeks on kind of a soccer trip where he's playing in a bunch of different games and for a bunch of different academies and stuff. And so that's pretty cool. And it's one of those, like, as a parent, it's super fun to watch your kids do things that they love to do. And then also... it's terrifying to have your kids,
so far away,
1,000 miles away or whatever. I don't know how far anything is, but
at least 1,000.
At least it feels like at least 1,000. Like I think Wisconsin's like 1,000 from here. So, but that's it feels like 8 times that. That's probably right. I don't know.
Okay, go with the feeling.
Yeah, go with the feeling. Go with the feeling. I always do that. No, that's not right. Anyway, so that's been really cool to kind of have him do that kind of trip, and he's with a group that does these kinds of trips all the time and all that kind of stuff. But to have him do that on his own and to not have parents there and all that. But the one thing that has come up that I'm interested in reflecting on with you guys is the level at which I should actually communicate with him when he's over there.
Oh,
because one of the great things about the trip is that he's doing it on his own. I mean, with this group, but he doesn't have me or his mom kind of holding his hand the whole time or whatever, right?
How long's the trip?
That's 2 full weeks.
How old is he?
17.
And when did you start?
Saturday.
Just this Saturday?
Yeah. So he's got another.
I'd say write him a letter at least.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I was going to say.
Get there in time?
I think it will. express mail it or something. I don't know. Ask I think those guys behind the counter know when it's going to show up.
It does seem like the sort of thing they would know. Yeah.
Yeah, if you ask them the right questions, you might have to get tricky about it.
Yeah. But he's not a super over communicating guy anyway.
Yeah.
Like he tends to be kind of a quieter kid. So that part's cool. But then there's parts where you just want to know what's happening, right? And it's and so it's so anyway, so I'm going back and forth on how often should I like send them a text or
I was gonna say once every 3 days. And then
that feels like a long time.
And then you'll hear from him 5 times. But they could just be like little check-ins. Like, what's up? Not like a phone call, like an hour phone call, but just like that.
I haven't done that at all.
Just to check in. Like, been thinking about you. Yeah.
All right.
It might be cool to say, take a picture of what's right next to you right now. Go.
It might be cool to say.
It might be, like, take a picture.
It might not end up being cool, but it might be. You don't know.
Yeah.
You never know. It might be boring. It might be like crazy.
Well, that's why I asked. It's kind of like our podcast.
Yeah.
Why'd you ask? That's the new name of our podcast. Why do you ask?
Those trips form you, man. And that's really,
I know, right?
That's big time.
I'm so proud of Josh. That's awesome. It's it's going to be a part of his story,
I know. So I'm really excited to hear about it all and to see how it goes for him. One of the cool things, one of the cool things is he has some of his games will be streamed online, so I can watch some of his games.
Oh, that's cool.
While he's playing, so that's gonna be fun. So Abby and I are looking forward to watching those.
That's gold.
Yeah. So
does it have to do with it being World Cup right now too? I mean, is it like a junior league or something?
No, not really. It's
coincidence.
Do these trips at different points, and it happens to be the summer is when they usually do the trips, and there's like one over Thanksgiving sometimes, I think. But this is actually fairly common in the soccer world, which I did not know about. So, but
that's cool.
You try out and you qualify for these teams, and then they travel around
for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So it's cool. So we're excited about it, and I'm excited to hear how he's doing. And that's one of the things. I'm grateful for the chance for him, and I'm grateful for the way he can shape him and all that stuff. Like, and I've never been to Europe, so I'm also super jealous of that turd because he gets to go to Europe. Don't even chime in here, Bianca. We know you can travel anywhere you want, whenever. We get it.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We have miserable lives.
I mean,
Bianca's life isn't boring. That's the new name of the podcast.
Okay, I can move on and tell you other things I've been at.
All right, great. That's a great plan.
Okay, next one is I think I'm gonna put these 2 concerts together because I've
been to so many concerts. If I do them all individually, I won't.
And I have a third thing, so I could split them up. But I did go to Dr. Dog a few weeks ago, and it was bomb. It was so good. I feel very 90s because then I went to the Decemberists more recently, and
that's
so
the one I thought was gonna make the list.
I know it's hard not to like just live music. That'll make your week, man. I can't stop thinking about these concerts. Like as soon as I was done with Dr. Dog, I mean, I'd already been listening to them exclusively up until the concert at Be Prepared, and then since the concert,
last time we talked 2 years ago. So
I know.
I knew it was a big deal.
And so then I listened to them after the concert, and then I switched to Decemberists. You could prepare myself, hear the songs, and now that's all I've been able to listen to the last week. And so it really does, like music, going to a live music really affects my whole week after, actually before and after. Just getting more into that artist or that band's whatever they got going for them. So anyway, it was really cool. I went with different people, and I love these bands. If you ever get a chance, you don't have to see them live. I mean, you can just look up Dr. Dog. They got great music. I'm more of a fan now than I've ever been before. And Decemberists, I always think this when I think of Decemberists is like, they got me. Like, it's so cliche that I like them. I'm like the perfect age. They're from Portland. They're kind of weird. They have different weird instruments. They sing about odd things, but they have my number. I love all of their songs. And it's so cliche that I like them, but I don't care. They speak to me. I really like Colin Malloy, and even when he goes solo, I like that. So whatever he's doing, I definitely want to be a part of. And
why do you associate the Decemberists with the 90s?
Oh gosh, I guess they are more 2000s. I think of it more of a Northwest thing, and when I think Northwest, I think 90s. So, but they are very Northwest, you know.
So I never heard of them until the Colbert Report. That's the first time I ever heard of those guys.
They probably have you're right. They've only been around since the 2000s. I also don't like thinking it's 2018 already. And they have been listening to for years does not include the 90s. So
Preston Nanny from Trinity introduced me to both of those bands.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a similar sentiment. I bet similar people were at both of the concerts too. I didn't think about that. Anyway, so that definitely making me grateful, and also
jealous. You little
true recommendation. You know, sometimes I just talk about things, but I'm not recommending them. These two I am actually recommending, so get on it. They speak to you too.
All right, I think we're already to my last one. That's cool.
I think
there we go.
What's your favorite Decemberist album? Mine is The King Is Something, like The King Is Dead or The King.
I gotta get to the albums. So the yellow one that came out.
Something about a king.
I'll look them up.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Do you have a favorite Decemberist album there, Gregory?
I do not. I know, like, I could not tell they were the Decemberists if you didn't tell me this is a Decemberist song.
It's interesting. Where are the Replacements? You remember the band?
That's the same one I was gonna say, Jay. I was saying the yellow one, but it's called The King Is Dead. So we picked the same one. I like that one a lot.
My first song, I think, is my favorite song he's written. Whatever.
Don't Carry It All.
Yeah. Don't carry it all. That's a good song.
Oh man, it's so good.
Right after I found out about him, he wrote. There's this weird book series, and I think there's like 33 of them. Because there was at least 33 of them. Because I think his is the number 33 of it. But it's a book series of musicians writing about influential musicians, and like they do a bunch of research and then write about it. I wrote Colin Malloy. He did a bunch of research on the Replacements, the band, the Replacements. Anyway, he's a profound writer. He
writes kids' books too. Yeah.
He's such an interesting dude. I like that.
Very interesting guy. Yeah.
All right. We'll keep moving. My third one was just this last Sunday. When I went to my father's. My dad and my stepmom, they moved to a new house out in Riverside, and they live at the top of this hill, and it's cool. It's got like a huge jacuzzi that kids love hanging out and stuff like that. But that's not the house, isn't it? But my older brother's birthday is June 20th. Mine's June 4th, and my little brother's is May 25th. And so we waited till this last Sunday to celebrate all our birthdays. And, my brother and I have had a strained relationship for maybe 20 years. It's been crazy. And it was like the first time. It was awesome. It's really good to like have my brother back. It's really good to like. It's not like all hunky dory, and we still got to work through and talk through a bunch of stuff. But it was just really neat to be all together as brothers and all of our families. And you know what kind of bonded us together was just all mutually making fun of my dad.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to that day when that's what binds my family together, but it is coming. There's no doubt.
But it's totally. I know it's gonna happen. I know it. Because I have like all this, like, you know how I exaggerate and I do absolute statements like all the time.
Kidding. No kidding.
All the time.
I have never heard you do that.
I steal that straight from my dad. And my dad, he takes it to another level. At one point, he said, "I'm the most famous Caucasian in the Vietnamese community," and then left. and then he left the room. he just dropped. And my son stood up and goes, "Is that true?"
What would it even mean for that to be true?
I don't even know.
Who else is competing for that title?
I don't know the beginning. I don't know the beginning of that story or the ending. I have no context. But we were just like, "That is dad. That's awesome." Anyway, but yeah, it was just amazing. It's amazing to have my older brother back, kind of in my life, and just it means the world that we're communicating, we're hearing each other, because that was the big frustration. I would say stuff and he wouldn't really hear it. He would say stuff I wouldn't really hear it. But something happened. Maybe time, maybe a lot of prayer, because there's been a lot of it, both of those. But it's super grateful. Super grateful.
I was so excited to see your picture on Instagram.
I know, that was a good
that was such a cool pic.
Andy was making a face. Yeah.
Andy, he's awesome.
That was just fun to see you guys all together. I don't know. That was cool.
Yeah.
I love that, man. That's fantastic.
Thanks, Tim.
My third one's not totally dissimilar to that one, Jason, because my third one is family, and in particular, I have a group of. This is gonna sound confusing when I first say it, so stick with me.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's brother married my dad's sister.
What?
Yeah, which isn't nearly as weird or wrong as it sounds when you first say it out loud. But they all grew up in the same small town together, and my mom has like 11 brothers and sisters, and my dad has 8. And so my mom's brother married my dad's sister after they had already been married. So anyway, so like, whatever. But they have 4 kids, and those 4 kids are all my cousins.
And they all look like you, probably.
Yeah, a little bit. And like we share, like, they're the other people on the planet I share the most like genetic material
Yeah.
with.
Oh my gosh.
So pretty crazy. But the fun thing is, like, when you're growing up, whichever side of the family you go to, they're there. So you get to spend like twice as much time with them. And
oh my gosh, this is blowing my mind.
So there was a period of time where, like,
I gotta draw this. Where are your brothers?
I promise you, it's not bad. It's not wrong.
Your dad's sister married.
Mom's brother.
It would be like if your aunt married your uncle, but from the other side.
Yeah.
Did that not help me? I can't see.
No, I got you. It's just crazy.
Anyway, but the point of the story, which is where it intersects with Jason's, is I haven't seen these cousins, most of the, like, 3 out of the 4 of them, in like 15 years, probably, maybe 20 years. And it's just a combination of factors of schedules and vacation times, and we just are never in the same place at the same time. But their family decided to take like 2 weeks and spend it in San Antonio like a week ago, or a couple weeks ago. So it was just awesome to see them every day and to hang out and be like, oh, that's right. Like, these people, you know, have been super close and have known me for a long time. And like some of the jokes that they kind of pushed at me and some of the stuff, it was just hilarious because it's just stuff I haven't thought about in years. Right. And you don't have those people in your life to do that.
Yeah.
So that was like, there's like kind of like your first one too, Jason, about like going back, like there's something about places that really matter, but there's definitely something about people that really matter. And the way that people who have known you for as long as these guys have known me, that really makes a difference. And it's really important in some ways. And so I see some of them once in a while, and but it was just so good. And it was also like, we've all grown up in 15 years, you know, like that's a chunk of time. And they're quite a bit, some of them are quite a bit younger than me. So like watching like the adults they've turned into and the families that they have. And it was just like, man, it's just super cool to see the way God's faithful to people in ways that you would never even imagine 15 or 20 years ago. You know, like, it's like, man, I can't believe that God has stayed with them and brought them through that. And it's just, I don't know. I love seeing them. I was really excited. Like, I was a little apprehensive to see them because it's been so long, but then once I saw them, I was like, oh, these guys, like, we just jumped right back into it. It was awesome. And then I'm going home tomorrow to see a bunch of other family and some of Abby's family and all of that. So it's just a lot of family right now, but that's been really refreshing and encouraging and good. So
golden.
That's good. Or do you mean you're going to Wisconsin tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you guys driving or?
Abby and the kids are driving. They left yesterday and they are in Wisconsin now. And then I'm flying tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Because we do our vacation and then I'll go to a conference at the end of it in Chicago that I go to every year. Or almost.
I kind of wish I was in Muskegon just to see you again.
I know that part would be cool, but
that was a plus.
Well, when you have me out to speak at the conference in LA, I'll see you there.
That's good. I'll jump into my third one unless you had something, Jay.
No, that's what I wanted to share. So shout out to my family in Wyoming.
Shout out, and I'll say shout out to my family in Texas. That's it. Mine is not family oriented, but I like I said earlier, I'm trying to get less into like just looking at my schedule, like, oh, what have I done in the last week, and more of like things I'm actually grateful for.
Yeah.
And reflecting and stuff. So this third one might be a little broad, but that's the caveat. This is why it sounds kind of like an odd one, but I'll tell you the specific moment was I play softball with some of my friends, and I have for years, and so one of them, a lot of them bring their kids, and so this happened last Sunday, and we were losing, and then the final, and this is the the playoffs. We actually didn't win the championship, but we were in the playoffs, and then we started to come back in the last inning. And one of the kids, I think he's 12 now, he was getting so excited about us like returning, and he's like, "Oh, do we do walk off? Do we have a walk off celebration? Is it okay?" Like he was just like anticipating so much, and so he's our bat boy too. And so it's toward the end of the inning. I'm in the dugout, and he goes out and gets a bat, and then he literally he's like characterizing the word like jolted. He like jumps in the dugout, like huge smile on his face with the bat, like woo, like you could just pause him like in a movie and he would be like describing what it would be like to just have pure joy. He was just so excited, and we ended up winning the game. But I was like reminded, just remember moments like these. Like this kid is so excited. And, no one else, none of the other adults were. I mean, we were talking about how cool it was that we were coming back, but no one was bounding into the dugout with his huge grin, and he was like so jacked. So just like this is a weird place I'm going to this, but just bear with me. Sometimes I wish that we could like take pictures by just like blinking our eyes, and then whatever we're seeing is like could be like saved and printed. I guess that's a camera phone, but whatever. Without actually pulling out a camera phone. And I just want this image to be seared into my mind of like people have the capacity to be this excited about something kind of minor.
Yeah.
So anyway, that brought me a lot of joy, and I've been noticing those things for the last couple of weeks, like just noticing other people experiencing joy, or even checking in with myself and being like, this is a really happy moment, even though I can't really record it any other way besides just reflecting on it and searing it into my memory. But anyway, so I'll say this kid really brought me joy last week. We ended up losing the championship game the next game, but we got to the championship by winning that game that he was so excited about. So anyway, that's my last one.
I think Jason and I talked about this years ago, and I'm not sure anybody listened to that conversation, but there's something about there's something about like the fleetingness of that kind of memory and that kind of joy that makes it all the more valuable, right? Like,
yeah.
Like that sort of like knowing as it's happening, oh, I need to remember this, but then also knowing as it happens that you will never remember that. You
got to write it down.
Yeah.
You gotta,
And even then, like you're still like it's a memory of a memory or something, but it's like it's super cool. Like there's something. I think that's distinctly human, right? Like I don't think that's something that I don't know that you could ever prove it or disprove it, but I don't think it's something other animals do.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is one of the like I don't know. It's one of those gifts that God gives us that hurts, but is really valuable.
Yeah, and it's the whole, the main goal of a lot of, I don't know, maybe religion, sure, but like movements is just be in the moment. So, I mean, that's part of it. You can't capture this. You have to be in the moment, which I'm pretty good at. But there's some I like to just keep repeating and talking about to remember what it was like to be in that moment, even though I can't actually be there again. But anyway.
Yeah. And there's also that just that cool nature about seeing something through someone else's eyes and being reminded of how good, like, baseball is that fun, like, and a comeback is that fun. Like they're actually outwardly expressing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
Like the deepest parts of
everyone was really excited, but he's the only one who's like bouncing everywhere with a huge grin on his face and everything. Yeah. That's what I liked about that moment too.
And that's because we're Old Town, old part of San Diego, Old Mission. What's the thing? Old Town San Diego.
Yeah.
And there was a mariachi band up on stage, and because it was Friday night, and Elsie just pops up and just starts dancing with like these women that are like dancing. And so there's this seated area. There's probably about 150 people just sitting on these wooden benches, watching these like women dance. You know, to the
traditional music,
the traditional Mexican music, and just ridiculously awesome. Like Guantanamera, they did that song that I know because Wyclef Jean. They did that song, but they did that song, and Elsie was outwardly doing like, and I was looking at like, just, and the adults look like zombies. Like the adults are just like motionless, and I don't know, just statues.
Mm-hmm.
And then my daughters, I was just jealous of her. Just like, like man, that's what that music. It should, like if we were all, it's supposed to do. It makes you dance. Anyway,
that's my whole life is just wishing I enjoyed things as much as other people.
It's so sad, but that's awesome. That explains so much.
Yeah. Sometimes in situations, I'll tell myself, what would somebody who is enjoying this act like? Sometimes it helps. Sometimes
it helps. And then do you do that, or?
Yeah, I try to sometimes. I mean, it takes a lot of like awareness and energy, so I don't always do it, but sometimes.
Just let go, man.
I know it. It's tougher than it should be, probably.
Yeah.
All right, B, you got to rank.
Okay, I'm ready to choose. to choose.
Wonderful.
Let's see. I love that Josh is in Germany. I think that's so cool. That might even be my number one. I'm gonna be praying for that guy. I love that Jason went to San Diego with his fam. That's a really fun area to be in. I'm gonna go with family because y'all both had it.
Yeah.
I'll go with my comedy because I feel like I'm on a streak of just talking about comedy a lot. But
you keep hitting good ones. Yeah.
I know. Gosh, I can't help it. I love it.
On a
So
streak.
3, 4, and I'm sorry, I can't pick World Cup. I'm gonna I'll pick my last one because we all can agree, even though we may not be able to experience it. It's pretty great to see joy come through other people.
There we go.
Amen.
Live in that moment.
If I was
to watch the World Cup.
Yeah.
So much joy in the World
Cup. I'm
not
one of those 4 million people, Zarby.
Billion with a
B.
Yeah. And I want to say, I want to put like a disclaimer, and you should maybe edit this thing and just put this instead of me making fun of the World Cup. I want to try. I just want to be teachable, and we were just having a conversation up at the Griffiths house this last Sunday. My whole family hates the new Star Wars, everything with Rey, and I love it. And I love them. And
love it.
I was saying over and over, how come why don't you just ride the wave, and why do you have to be a hater?
Yeah.
And then I heard my own voice saying that about the World Cup. I'm gonna watch some World Cup. I'm gonna
look at it.
If you don't love it, there's no shame in that. People don't like soccer. There's some people, but if you like drama and you like joy and you like seeing people cry, which I know you do, it's like watch the last 20 minutes of every game.
Yeah,
you don't even have to watch the whole thing.
So I don't have to be a hater. I'm gonna be a World Cup lover right there.
You go, man. A couple of countries. You're super close to Mexico. Be a better
way to say that.
Yeah. All right, that's a good list. B, do you have a B-side?
Oh, let me pick one. I think I have two. Let me see what I want to do. Should we play the song? Boom, boom, boom.
Right, here's the song playing.
Here it is.
Jerky and root beer. That's my answer. That's my answer to the B-side.
Sounds like a terrible morning show. You're back with Jerky and root beer.
Jerky and root beer.
Live.
If you could live in a store, what would it be? Okay.
The news, sure.
Two things that don't seemingly go together, but
and live there forever. Okay, I was gonna alter this question because I didn't think it applied to you guys, but I'm not gonna alter it, and you can roll your eyes as deep as you want. Just go with it.
Oh
We're
boy!
Not gonna be haters. We're in.
We're trying.
celebrity would you want to be friends with? And it can be an athlete or something like that. I thought celebrity wasn't really up your guys' alley, but famous person, I guess. I don't know.
No, that's fair. That's not
okay.
a question.
Okay. I thought you guys would be like, celebrity, I don't care about Us Weekly.
I would like to be friends with Jason Griffiths' dad because he's the most famous white guy in the community.
That's an awesome callback, dude. That's really
Who wouldn't?
If we went with athletes, I would probably say Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, big Green Bay.
I'm a huge Green Bay Packer fan, but he also seems like a kind of guy I'd like to hang out with.
Are we going? We're going athletes or
no? I'm just saying, but that's not really like celebrity. I have to think about celebrity for a second more.
He is a celebrity in his own way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't even have an answer for this yet.
I'll go off the board. I have one that I think is true for me.
Jay, you got one? Sorry, Greg.
Yeah, I'll go off the board. I like Michael Che from Saturday Night Live. I think I could hang out with that guy for a long time.
He's pretty great.
He's hilarious, and he lives a very different life than I live, but he's very insightful and smart. And
I would do. What's that actor's name who plays Ron Swanson?
Oh yeah, Nick Offerman.
Yeah, Nick. I'd do Dick Offerman or
Nick Offerman.
Yeah, Nick. That's what I said. I think. Hopefully, I said Nick.
I don't think so. I think you and I both heard that otherwise.
I think you mean. I heard you.
Good old Richard Offerman.
Richard Offerman. No, Nick Offerman, and then or that one guy who's the 40-year-old that movie.
Steve Carell.
No, Ant-Man. He's Ant-Man guy.
Oh, Paul Rudd. Yeah, he does.
Paul Rudd. I would hang out with Paul Rudd. I think that would be fun to be friends with that dude.
I can see that.
Gosh, now I got to think of a woman because you guys all know men.
Yeah. Who I just heard an interview with, Jason, that you would really like, that you probably know already on some level, but like. He has some similar stories to you in his background, but John Hamm is somebody.
Oh yeah,
you'd be good friends with John Hamm if you guys hung out ever.
Yeah, he's wicked short. Like he doesn't come across as short in like interviews, like in like movies and stuff.
I don't think he is.
He is. I saw him on like Conan or something. I don't remember what show it was.
Conan's really tall.
Google it.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up right now, Jason. I hope you're right for the sake of this podcast. Otherwise, who knows?
Yeah. I would say, okay, should we wait for the answer? You got it?
Josh Brolin right now. Too. I like that Josh Brolin guy.
Yeah, he seems cool too. He seems like too manly for me to hang out with him.
Yeah. That's the same with Nick Offerman, making canoes and stuff.
But he seems like, all right, so John Hamm is 6 feet 3 1/4 inches. So he's not
tall. He's tall.
Yeah.
He's tall.
Taller than me.
Yeah.
Taller than me.
I think that's taller than me.
Yeah, surprisingly taller than Bianca. So
very surprising.
Well,
okay, my first one. You guys picked more than one, but the one that comes to mind right now is Gina Rodriguez, who plays Jane the Virgin.
Oh yeah.
And I always like that show, and I like her character, but her in actual life just seems so cool, like the actual actress. So I would probably pick her. I think we would have a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of an athlete. I can't really think of one.
That girl who plays Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That'd be fun to hang out. Gina on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, she seems cool. She seems cool.
That'd be funny.
That would be fun. Oh, probably a comedian. I should probably think of a comedian.
What about this Emily Heller lady?
I would definitely hang out with Emily Heller. A lot of the stuff she was saying on stage is literally things I had thought of myself. Being like, we have to be friends. We think very similarly.
We have to be friends.
Oh man, I wish I could be that way. Yeah. Anyway, maybe I'll pick Emily Heller too, even though I just talked about her a lot earlier. But okay. Anyway, thanks for playing along, guys. I thought you.
B-sides.
B-sides, man. That's what we do. It's our favorite part of the episode every time.
Close up the B-sides.
There it is. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to This Week in Gratitude. We have had fun talking to each other. We hope you have had fun. If you have ideas or suggestions or things that you think we should be covering, please, by all means, text us or tweet us. You can tweet me at Outpostings. You can tweet the podcast at Week in Gratitude.
Yep.
At Week in Gratitude on Twitter. You can find Jason Griffiths or Bianca Quezada or Greg Richards on Instagram. You can track us all down that way. Please subscribe, rate us highly, and send this around to everybody else. You guys are the best. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye.
Bye.